Hello and welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. Once again, I'd like to welcome you into the kitchen this evening where we're going to make something that a lot of people's been waiting for me to finally do the video on. And it's my version of homemade Cherokee hominy. Now, before you go, ooh, this is not the hominy that you're used to out of a can. This is not live soaked hominy. This is dried, chopped corn. You see how beautiful that is? Now, y'all are in luck because we're house sitting and family requested since they had to go out of town, when they come back, they wanted a good home-cooked meal, and well, they want some hominy. And I'm more than happy to cook it. You know, it can be fun being a private cook. But yes, this is not live-soaked corn. This is natural chopped white corn. Now, you can also cook the chopped yellow corn, the dried corn. I kind of prefer the white corn. It tastes better and it's more traditional. Now, not a drop, a grain of lye is in this corn. It's just dried and chopped. Now, you can find it if you have a local Amish store. I know ours, which isn't too local, but it's close enough, sells it by the pound or bigger. You can order it online if you want to. I'd rather personally lay eyes on it so I can check the quality. Now, I have in the past before bought organic chopped corn at the co-op. Now, you have to clean quite a bit of the dust out. There might be a few pieces of corn cob here and there, but yeah, it's all you need for a while, and you can store that back. But look how beautiful that is. And no, it hasn't been washed or anything. It is just chopped dried corn. Well, when I get done with it, and you'll see why, when I get done with it, it's going to taste like chicken and dumplings, but yeah. Okay, first off the bat, I'm making this, and I'm prepping it the night before. You don't have to soak it overnight like beans, but it does help with the cooking process because it does cut the cooking time down by half. So let's get it down here so you can see what I'm doing. And this is the big pot that I'll be cooking it in tomorrow. And yes, I'm going to be taking y'all all the way through all the steps. Now, I forgot to mention, this is 4 pounds of chopped dry corn. It's going to make a lot of hominy, but they want leftovers, a lot of leftovers. And of course, we're going to be eating with them as well. So, alright, now I'm going to fill this pot up about halfway with cool water. Cool water will work just as fine, because if you do hot water, by morning time, you might have some ferment going on, and then you're not going to be making no hominy. You'll be making some liquid. It takes a while to fill up the bowl. The water pressure is not too great. Sometimes filters slow things down. Now that's one bowl, and I'm going to keep filling it till it's, probably a little over halfway, and I'll bring you right back. Okay, I've got it a little over halfway full. You're going to stir it real good. It's just the same as if you're soaking beans, y'all. You soak overnight. Now, I ended up with a few bad pieces and a little bit of corn cob. You just take it out, that's all. Just take it out. Now I'm going to cover this up here in a bit, but we want to get our pork loin. Yes, I said pork loin going. I'm not going to lie, that's heavy. Wipe that up. I'm going to bring this over here. And then I'm going to scoot y'all a little closer. All that I have in here is water. I'm not going to add any salt because I'm going to be using a good amount of bouillon tomorrow. And this is garlic powder. I do not measure. I can't help it. I just have been making it for so long. You just go by eye. But you want to build some flavor. No, that was onion powder. This is garlic powder. Oh, Lord. I knew that smelled different. And this is evil humidity here. But nothing wrong with that. I just gotta mush it up, that's all. There we go. Don't you worry one bit, because those chunks will break up as it cooks. Alright. Stir that real good. Like I said, I'm not adding any salt because I'm using bouillon tomorrow. Let me drop it down so you can see what I'm doing. Scoop my pot over here. Let me get my cutting board. Now they like their hominy really meaty. So this is at least a good 4 or 5 pounds of pork loin. The way we buy our pork loin, this is half. The other half's in the fridge for other dinners. Yeah, we don't buy small meat. We buy in bulk. Amounts of meat that'll feed you. And I was blessed to catch it not on clearance, but on sale for $1.68 a pound still. Do not cut the fat off because that's flavor. Now, if you don't want to use pork, I can understand. It's so much better with pork. You can use deer. I have not had deer to try it with. I have tried it with chicken. I used chicken breast, cooked them the same way, shredded them, and it was good, but it did throw the flavor off. Cherokee ancestors loved their pork. And And they love their wild hogs too, thanks to the Spanish. Only one of a few things they were good about. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on this here in a bit. I'm going to start cooking it. And I'm going to boil it until it's tender, until it's falling apart. And then I'm going to shred it. Now I will bring you back for this process. At the moment, all it has is onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of black pepper. And I will see you back here in about, 3 hours or so. But what you're doing is building a broth to add in with the hominy. And towards the end of the cooking of the hominy, that's when I'm going to add all that shredded pork in. And I'll bring you back to show you about the shredding of the pork. Fixing to get this baby rolling, and I'll see you back here in about 3 hours or so. Okay, the pork loin is completely cooked and cooled down. My old tail is tired. I'm going to put the pan in the refrigerator, and we will get started on cooking the traditional, well, my version of Cherokee traditional hominy. I'll see y'all in the morning. Good night, everybody. Okay, good early afternoon, everyone. I'm getting a late start. I have my hominy here. Now, I did strain out half of the soaking water, and I brought it up to temp. You can see that the corn is starting to plump up, and this is going to be a long process. Now, back in the day of my ancestors, they would make, all the southeastern and eastern tribes loved hominy. Now, some would do the live soaking, sometimes they didn't. Now, but first, what I got to do, I have the pork loin chunks heating up over here. I'm going to get them out of the liquid. I'm going to take them inside so I can pull them. As you can see, they're falling apart. Yeah, I'm going to have to get my spoon. Of course, Jane will enjoy the fat. I want to try to make sure as much liquid as possible stays in the pot. And you want to get as much, if not all, of the meat out because it can stick. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back now. And you're going to want a very good, heavy, strong metal spoon. Because you're going to have to keep an eye on the bottom of your pot, because it can and will stick and burn, and you definitely do not want that to happen. Now I'm going to add all of this wonderful flavor into this pot with the hominy. Now, it's going to still puff up some more, and it's going to get good and thick and creamy in a couple hours or so at least. I'm going to make sure I get all of that in there. Now, you want it to have a very, very low, light simmer. Now, what the ancestors would do, is they didn't have these big, beautiful stock pots back then. They would bring out the big cast iron, what they would call, what some call wash pots, and cook huge batches of hominy. All of your southeastern and eastern Native Americans loved hominy. Now, yes, they did make the lye-soaked hominy, which I also enjoy as well. But the way they would use it, they didn't use the lye chemical like the white settlers like to use. They would make wood ash from your oak trees, and that's how they would lye preserve the corn when needed to. But like I said, this is just dry, chopped corn. And by the time I get done with this baby, it's going to be absolutely delicious. Now I'm going to put a lid on it and give it room to breathe, because I want some of that water to evaporate, but not all of it. And here, after a while, I'm going to add some more seasoning to it, and I'll bring you back here in a little bit. Okay, it's starting to come up, back up to heat after adding the juices for cooking the pork loin. Now, usually what I do is I do it all in the same pan or pot. It just takes a whole lot longer. And I started, as I get older, I like to simplify things and make it more as close to traditional as possible. Of course, I have seasonings that was not available to my ancestors. And of course, they loved the pork. Pork was always used. And when they had it spared, they throw in a couple of chickens as well. So I'm going to add this chicken broth base and seasoning. It's no artificial flavors, gluten-free, which any good bouillon should be gluten-free. And another important thing, no MSG. And that is 6 big heaping tablespoons. Yes, I know it sounds like a lot, but it's going to cook down, it's going to condense. And you got to be careful how much you use. When it gets close to being done, I'll taste it again. And if it needs some more, I'll add it. Because you can always add more, but you never can take out. It's starting to plump up really pretty now. course, it's just going to be a long cooking process. And I'm going to add a little more garlic powder. We're just going to add the little chunky bits, because they'll break down as they cook. And that's going to be a good 3 tablespoons of good garlic powder. Let me tell you, it's smelling good already. Of course, don't worry about any clumps of garlic. As long as it's going to cook, it's going to break down. And it's smelling so good already. There might be a chance I might have to add more water to it later on. I'll bring you back for it if I do. Like I said, when you stir, you want to scrape that bottom and make sure nothing is sticking. Because as this starts getting thicker, you're going to have to watch it close. For now, it's not too bad. Alright, I'm going to get back in the house, and I'm going to go shred the pork up, and I'll bring you back later on when I do something else to it. Okay, she's starting to thicken up some, and this is when you have to really start watching it, especially your bottom. It's not close to being done yet, because it's going to keep thickening up, but you want to make sure that these kernels get cooked well and nothing sticks on the bottom. And I'm going to add a little, or my version of a little bit, of black pepper to it. Slowly but surely, it's getting there. And you want to watch the size of this pan, make sure that you get your seasonings off of it, because they will try to be sneaky. But this is one of those you cook slow and low. I'm going to put that lid, like you see, I have a space here so it can vent out slow and low. I'll bring you back later on. Okay, it is thickening up very nicely. Look at that thick, wonderful hominy. Now I'm going to add the meat. And this is the shredded pork going back into the pot. And this is when you're going to have to really watch it, because that pork likes to stick, so does the hominy. And I tasted it, and it's going to need a lot more of the chicken stock. So I'm just going to add the rest of that and hope. Of course, the meat was in the refrigerator, so it's going to cool the pot down some. But you see how thick that is? Good and thick. And that's the natural starch in the corn. I'm going to take me another bite here in a bit. But I'm telling you, this is liquid lava. It has to cool down. You want to make sure that you stir that bottom, because it will stick on you. And you can see how the corn has plumped all up. It's thickened up, and it tastes wonderful. It just needs to be seasoned up. And I'll bring you back here in just a bit. Okay, the hominy is done. It's good and thick, and it'll continue to thicken up as well. Look at that. Beautiful, traditional hominy. Seasoned a little different than what the ancestors would. And this is not the hominy that a lot of people are used to. There's no lie in this. No lie about how good it is either. Straight corn. That's all it is. Good old chopped dried corn, some pork loin, and you want to use just enough of the chicken stock, bouillon powder, and it tastes just like chicken and dumplings. Old-fashioned chicken and dumplings, not this new stuff. Simple, easy, homemade, delicious. You can also freeze it. It freezes fine. You can't can it because it's corn, but it is absolutely amazing. And I pay homage to my ancestors before me, who absolutely love this too. Now, of course, most of the time hominy was made during the winter time, because your corn was already dried, chopped, and put away. This is what sustained them through the winter. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know a lot of y'all have been waiting for this video for a while. And believe me, this recipe will not disappoint you at all. Now, of course, you don't have to make as big a batch as I have. You just use a pound of the dried corn and just follow along with the video, and just don't use as much ingredients as I have. It's simple, it's easy, but let me tell you, the bigger batches are wonderful, because that way you can eat on it for days. It just keeps getting better, and you can freeze whatever you have left over. And I'll tell you, I have sold at craft fairs a bowl of this hominy, and I have converted many a person with this hominy. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and it encourages you as well to make your own Cherokee hominy. Everyone, take care, stay safe and sound, stay safe in this heat, stay hydrated, and above all else, stay positive. You got this. And keep stocking those pantries. Everyone, take care. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. And apparently Jana says hello as well. And may you each be blessed. I'll see you soon, because now it's time to make the second video, Cherokee fry bread. I'll see you later.